Hello, fellow followers. Welcome back to FanZcene. Greg here. And today I have you. Sony is launching their first new 4K Blu-ray player in over 5 years. This is good news. This is a bit of big news for physical media lovers because there's so much out there where people keep saying physical media is dead or is dying and that it's gone and everything. And yes, there was an article that just came out not too long ago in Variety talking about how the DVD business is dead. Personally, I don't think it's dead or dying. Yes, the sales are down. Yes, there are problems, but a lot of it is, like I said before, I don't think we're witnessing the death of physical media. Is it being killed? Possibly, yes, but we're witnessing the death of brick and mortar stores because once they remove that from the public, that's when sales are start to climb. But that's a whole nother conversation. But this is good news because Sony hasn't released a Blu-ray player, a new 4K or Blu-ray player in years. And what? But Sony was getting out of the Blu-ray business. No, they're not. They're not getting out of the Blu-ray business at all. But I'll go ahead and pop this up here because there are good things and bad things, as this article says. It says Sony launches its first new 4K Blu-ray player in over 5 years, and it's good and bad news. Yes, it is good and bad news, and we're going to go over it. And I'm going to give you my thoughts on all this because spoiler alert, I've already read this article, so I don't think it's as bad as some people might think it is. Some of the bad flaws in this, because it doesn't really affect me really, but we'll get into it. It says, it's been a nail-biting time to be a 4K Blu-ray fan, as the players we rely on to spin our disc are beginning to show their age. Yes, they are. Thankfully, Sony has given the format a vital lifeline, as it has launched its first new model in over 5 years, a refreshed version of a 5-star favorite that can be found on our best 4K Blu-ray players list. It says the UBP X700/K is an updated version of the UBP X700, which we awarded 5 stars back when it was released in 2018. 2018. Wow, that feels like so long ago now, even at 2025. It says the new model doesn't appear to be a radical departure, which is good. We like our consistency. It says it sports an almost identical design, support for both HDR10 Plus and Dolby Vision HDR. Great. These are pros, and it features DTS:X and Dolby Atmos audio support. Perfect right there. It even comes with the same remote as the original version, and it supports Bravia Center Sync audio if you have a compatible Sony Bravia TV. All great news. Those are all good things right there. Those are some of the very pros, and we're about to get into the cons here. But me personally, some of these cons that we're going to go over, I'm cool with them. I don't think they're cons of me. But it says, however, in some ways, the new player looks like a downgrade, not my mind, from the original. It's reportedly losing network functions entirely, including video streaming services, Spotify Connect, and screen mirroring. I don't use streaming services, so I don't need my Blu-ray player to do streaming. I don't do Spotify. I have CDs. I know that Spotify, I think, may upset a little more people than the streaming. Plus, I mean, even behind me, Roku, right, on my TV, and I don't even really do streaming other than like YouTube and Shudder and Full Moon. But, don't most people have a smart TV by now? They don't really use their Blu-ray player for streaming sites and Spotify and stuff like that. So to me, I don't think this is a con, but I know some people will see this as a con. And it continues by saying, and screen mirroring. I mean, if you want to share something from your phone to that, but once again, to me, I don't need to do that with my Blu-ray player. So, and it says these downgrades have been reported by Japanese publication Monahika, which I hope I said that. It's right. And it says, and Sony's official website also lists the UBP X700K does not have Wi-Fi built in, which that might be a little downgrade because I do like to have it a little bit of Wi-Fi on my Blu-ray player, but I don't necessarily need it. I really don't, because I have other things like, computer and phone and smart TV. So I don't need it on my Blu-ray player. I like my Blu-ray player, my 4K Blu-ray player, to play my disc. That's what I use it for. As long as it has a great firmware and a good laser and it works and it plays it and has all the compatibility for the HDR10 Plus and Dolby and all that, I'm good to go. It says, curiously, the player still features an Ethernet socket for wired network connectivity, though this could be for firmware updates rather than accessing streaming services. There you go. So maybe, I don't need streaming, but if I need to update the firmware, at least I can update the firmware. So it's got an Ethernet cord. So that is a plus. That is a plus in my book. It says, while fewer features on a new model feels like a sting on paper, we're not convinced that many people relied on their Blu-ray players for streaming services. We've also seen that network streaming apps on Blu-ray players tend to get less attention when it comes to updates compared to their respective smart TV and media streamer apps. So we're not chalking this up as a great loss. Exactly. To me, that is not a great loss. I could give two shits about streaming services, especially on my Blu-ray player. Screw them all. I can't stand them, what they've done to entertainment. I can't stand them making things into content. I can't stand that they're even used more than a Blu-ray player, that we have to make, concessions and say that, about physical media and everything because of streaming. I hate streaming. And so this, to me, is no big loss about losing the streaming services or Spotify or any of that on this new Blu-ray player. None of that is a big loss to me at all. I think this will be the biggest con because we're still not sure what I'm about to read here next, whether it is whatnot. So let's get to it. It says, what's looking less promising regarding the new disc player is the pricing. Officially speaking, pricing is yet to be revealed, so we do not know what it will be priced here in the States yet. However, it says that officially speaking, pricing is yet to be revealed. However, the player is available in Japan now with a reportedly 25% higher retail price than the original model, which is that I can see being a big con. Once again, we don't know what the price will be here in America, and I'm hoping that it will be less, but with less features and stuff like that. Even, yes, it is a new Blu-ray player. It's a new model of what we have, but this is really big news for physical media lovers because this is the first new Blu-ray, because everybody was saying they don't even make players anymore. LG got out of it. Physical media's dead. No, look, Sony is releasing a new Blu-ray player, an updated model of one of their best 5-star Blu-ray players. But it does come with pros and cons, and I think the biggest con in my book is the pricing, and I'm hoping that it is a lower price here in America, but we don't know that yet. Like I said, I could do without the streaming. I can do without Spotify, the screen mirroring. None of that affects me in the least. But the pricing, however, that's what I worry about, because if we're getting to the point where people will want to buy Blu-ray players again and buy physical media again, sometimes you got to go low before you get high, right? So if we're getting that point again to where the people want to buy them again, you got to make it affordable for people to buy, or else you're not going to, that's another thing, like with prices wise, is like, you'll price people out of physical media eventually. So, but it continues. We'll finish up the article here and I'll give you some more thoughts and we'll close it out. It says, then the original model, will we see this price translate to other markets? Only time will tell, as the player is set to release this April or May, depending on the region. I'm going to take that down there. So that was the end of the article, but this is good news. I see this as good news because I do think the good outweighs the bad with this, because as a physical media lover, as a physical media collector, and as somebody who's trying to fight to save physical media and keep it alive and well in this day and age when sales are down, streaming is up, as somebody who's trying to fight and keep physical media alive, this is good news. And I'm glad that we are getting a new Blu-ray 4K player, and hopefully it will be affordable for people. Once again, I would like to know your guys' thoughts on this. Does this, kill it for you? For those that want it, no streaming service, no Spotify, no screen mirroring, and possibly no internet, but you will have an Ethernet cord to update your firmware probably. So does that kill it for you? To me, that does not kill it for me. If anything, I'm absolutely cool with that, because I don't use my Blu-ray, my 4K Blu-ray player, or my Blu-ray player, because this is Blu-ray, and the big living room is the 4K and the big TV and all that, right? So I don't use those for streaming or Spotify or mirroring. I just don't. But let me know what you guys think about all this in the comment section down below. And if you liked what you saw here, maybe consider hitting that like button or subscribing and hitting that bell for notifications. That'd be awesome if I earn you guys' subscriptions, or possibly share the video out for everybody to see, or join and become a channel member, because that would help out my channel immensely. Thank you, and shout out to all my channel members. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you guys being channel members here, and for all of your support. To everybody watching, whether you liked me, hated me, or liked this video, or hated this video, I thank you for sticking this long wherever you all are. Please have a great, safe, happy, healthy day, morning, afternoon, evening, and night. Always truly support physical media, because it really is the superior format, now more than ever. Godspeed.